Look at that.
What's up?
I love it. I know where to start.
The show.
That's how you start the damn show, man.
Say more.
Huh?
I said, need we say more?
We don't. You ready?
Let's go.
Football season's almost here, you guys.
You know it.
And welcome in to episode 113 of Out of Your Falcon Mind, Atlanta Falcons fan cast. My name is John, your host, joined by my man, Mr. Mike Cottrell from his new digs in Canton. Looking great, man. You switched it up again.
I switched it up again. Oh, I got something nasty on the way, but skip me today. We going straight to our guests. Who cares about me? Who cares about me? All right, I'm excited. It's only a few people on this planet that take the Atlanta Falcons as serious as I do, and we got one of them on the show tonight. So I'm excited. I don't want to talk about myself. Let's go.
That's right, man. We got Miss Lisa Sheppard of Blogging Dirty Man on the show with us. How are you doing, Lisa?
Hey, you guys. Thanks for having me on. I definitely appreciate the invite.
Oh, of course. Yeah, man. I mean, obviously diehard fan, and we've talked some, obviously, since we invited you on, and awesome. Like before we get into your stuff, coming to you from VarietySports Network, as always. Check out VarietySports. Make sure you check them out. You can watch us on there. You can watch us obviously on our channel here. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll get to the chat in a second. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. We are closing in on 700 subscribers. We're almost there. On our way to 1,000. By the way, shout out to our man Alberto for hitting 1,000, man.
Berto!
Congrats.
How about you, Berto? Great show, man. 95 North Falcons Talk Show. Make sure y'all check him out. Was awesome to see that. So anyway, so we're going to get there too. So subscribe and tell all your friends, share, like the button, all that good stuff. If you're listening to us on iTunes or Spotify, drop us a 5-star review. We much appreciate it. Helps us get the word out on those platforms as well. Lisa, your Falcons fandom. Let's just start there, man.
Let's just start there. Let's go.
You got an awesome story, so you got to tell it.
Well, a lot of people are like, well, why you go so hard for the Falcons, and where did your interest in football come from? Well, my dad. It all boils down to him. He was a football player, played high school football in New Jersey, got a college football scholarship to Morris Brown College here in Atlanta. He was a football coach in Atlanta Public Schools. So he was all about football. So when I came along, he was still coaching. And so I was just always around it, the X's and O's and being around the athletes and all of that. So football was just one of those things that I just gravitated towards. Clearly I never played the game myself, but the interest was always there. And then when I became a teenager, when I was old enough to start working, I worked at the old Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. So there I got to watch all the home Falcons and Braves games. So, my fandom was just kind of embedded in me. And when Sundays rolled around for the road games, my dad and I would sit in the living room and watch Falcons football. So, when people say, well, when did it start? And I even asked my brother, because my brother is older than me. And he was just like, Lisa, football has been a part of our lives since the beginning. Like, I can't give a date. And obviously, my dad had to explain the game to me once I was old enough to understand it. But for instance, I was in high school. I was the statistician for my high school football team, that kind of thing. So I've been a football nerd all my life.
I love it. John has muted his mic on accident, as always.
No, I was gonna drink. I didn't want to interrupt your story. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, I love to hear that, Lisa. I'm gonna tell you, man. What's your father's name?
Alexander.
Alexander, has he passed away? Could
yeah.
You say past tense?
And that's another thing. Because football was a bond that we shared, it's just one of those things that, he brought me into football. So now that he's since passed, me keeping up the tradition is a way, for me to express my love and maintain the connection to him. So that's
King
never leave the Falcons. I will, me and the Falcons till I die.
Long live him. Long live that dude for doing that. I love it.
Yep.
Right. That's an awesome story. And it was crazy. I mean, when you said you worked at Fulton County Stadium, I was like, it's not possible because you can't. There's no way you worked it there because you look younger than both my.
No.
I gotta ask you this. I have to. Hey, so here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying, Lisa. I had put on Twitter one day. I had a thing where I said that my fandom started at that was like too legit to quit. That was like 91. And all these people came and was like, man, I remember him. It was your Fulton County Stadium. Yeah. And I was blown away because I had to sit for a minute and was like, man, I didn't even know it was a stadium.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you this. When you first started as a child, who was your favorite player? Who was the first player that just took your whole imagination when you was a kid, first starting in the Falcons? Who was?
Well, you got to remember, given my age, Steve Barkowski was my first QB. So
that's nasty. I love it.
So and then just seeing the old school Falcons, and I love when Falcons legends come to different Falcons events because I love that they still remain connected to the team, even though at this point it's been decades. So Gerald Riggs, Turner. The usual suspects. You know what I mean? But they still hang around the team and still do, community service, or they'll be sometimes at the open practices now at the Benz. But for me, it was, Atlanta, because at first it was Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Then we had the Georgia Dome, and then now we have the Benz.
I love it.
So obviously, you've been how long have you been writing for Blog and Dirty?
Oh, I just started this year, so I'm still new. I'm new.
Shout out to Blog and Dirty. We're hiring Lisa.
Yeah, I mean, she's had some. Well, I've read your articles, so you had some great articles. You're a great writer.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Absolutely. So, what have you been? We'll just plug some of your articles. What have you been working on? What you got out there now? What's coming up?
Okay, so my latest article, which came out last week, y'all remember when the NFL made that weird post with Super Bowl 51?
Oh, yeah.
So they made the post, then took it down, which just caused a whole bunch of conversation about, is the NFL really trolling us? But then to me, more weird than the actual posting of the game was them deleting it, because I'm not really familiar with the NFL's Twitter deleting posts. So it was like, well, what was behind that? So, I basically just did a quick article on, Twitter reacts to the NFL posting of Super Bowl 51. Then Twitter reacts to the NFL deleting its post about Super Bowl 51. So I kind of got both because, of course, Falcons Twitter went nuts. And, and of course, the Patriots fans loved it. And, of course, the Aints with their typical trolling of the Falcons behind, our loss. But it made us have a lot of questions. But prior to that, and I really enjoyed writing about this article. Remember when the Falcons announced that they had been awarded marketing rights in Germany? So I connected with some German Falcon fans for an article, which I didn't know that we had much of a tie. I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? So what happened was I had met, I think in 2019, a German Falcons fan, and we kept in touch. He came from Germany. He wanted to see the team play at the Benz, but also he did a road trip. I think he went to, if I'm not mistaken, Houston and maybe Seattle. So he came all the way from Germany, saw a home game, and then he also followed the team for 2 road games. And unfortunately, every game he attended, the Falcons did not win. And I felt so bad for him. But, he said it was a great experience. He got to see his team play at the Benz and on the road. But just the fact that was his level of fandom. And I said, well, what? You're from Germany. Like, how did this connection to the Falcons happen? And what it was for him was he had been an exchange student here in Atlanta. Well, I think the family actually lived in Marietta, but he's a sports fan. So he adopted the Falcons as his NFL team. And he's just die hard. He said, through the ups and downs, he'll never let them go. He has the gear. And he recently had a little baby girl. And I said, I got you. I'm going to send her some Falcons gear, so she'll be a little dirty bird in Germany. But yeah, and it was just interesting to hear the different stories. They have an Atlanta Falcons Germany fan club. And you guys probably saw the video that the team posted of them visiting with them. I mean, it's a whole deal. And many of them are going to be at our London game. They've already made plans. Flights are booked. Hotels are booked. So I was just like, wow. And so he put me in touch with other German Falcons fans. And I actually, was in contact with the German Falcons fan that was featured in the announcement. So, and he's kind of like the leader of the German fan club for the Falcons. So, and he's in touch with Falcons execs, and they're planning some really cool things over there. So I'm excited to see how that develops.
Lisa,
Awesome.
I got to tell you this. You got to go on Twitter. Ski Sheppard, the #1 crazy Falcon fan in Germany. We cannot leave.
Okay.
Ski Sheppard, you got to do it. He been rocking since day one.
Love to hear it.
Please contact this man. He is nuts. And we love him. We love him.
Great.
Please. He's the German Falcon fan, which I don't like. I was like you. I'm like, how does that even happen?
Yeah, and they went hard. And I mean, it was just like.
But there are some people who stay in like Powder Springs that it's too far for them to like the Falcons. So Germany, I'm loving it.
Right. And I mean, and just to see that level of fandom with, some of them have never been to Atlanta, but by the same token, there are plenty of them that have been to Atlanta. So that article was really cool for me because I got to, they sent me pictures of them being at the Benz and, tailgating and just, being a Falcons fan. So that was just, again, if you're a Falcons fan, you get money with me. And I love just kind of hearing that story. So that's past articles. What I'm working on now, and it should be published in the next couple of days. I just thought about fandom and the levels of fandom, right? I mean, as sports fans, we have the hoodies, the jackets, the t-shirts, the hats, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But I didn't know that so many people had Falcons tattoos. Yeah. So what happened was I just put, I just kind of come up with my own content, and the idea just, came into my brain like, I wonder how many people out there have Falcons tattoos. So I'm in a couple of Falcons groups. Atlanta Bird Gang is one. Dirty Bird Nation is another. They have, over 30,000 members in each group. And I just put it out there like, hey, I'm Lisa, write for Blogging Dirty. If you have a Falcons tat, let me know. Send me a picture. So I didn't expect as many as I got. I mean, I was just like, all these people walking around with Falcons tattoos. I love it. So it's one thing to put on a t-shirt, but to make the decision to get, your team inked on your skin, I was like, I want to write about them. So that article will be coming up next.
I cannot wait for that. Lisa, you seen the cars? Have you seen the whole cars where somebody do the whole car?
Yeah.
That's nuts. I love it.
I love it too, because they letting you know what time it is. Like you gotta ask no questions. You already know what team I rep. So I like that kind of fandom. You know what I mean? And I must admit, there are, obviously some fans that had, tats for a long time, but several, in fact, one fan in particular, she said that she was planning to get her first Falcons tat after we won our Super Bowl. But as we know, we didn't win it, right? But she said she went ahead and got it anyway because her fandom for her team doesn't waver. So she and she said it made her feel better. So she actually has two sports tattoos. One is Atlanta Falcons. She got that one after we lost. And then she also is a big fan of Atlanta United. So she reps both teams that play in the Benz. Awesome. So like the Falcons tat is here, and then the United tat is here, which she got after they won the MLS Cup in 2018.
So that is I don't know. Hold on, and this is off the subject.
Hey, shout out to Ashley. That's Ashley. You'll read about her in the article.
Shout out to Ashley, but let's get to you real quick. What is that on your wrist? Because that's the coolest shit I've ever seen. What is that?
It's just a bingo. It's just a bracelet.
Oh, I thought that was a watch. I was just saying, God, I thought you was getting ready, like it was like a portal.
No.
Hey, I was going. All right, okay.
It's just an accessory.
I love it.
That's hilarious. Hey, well, Lisa, man, that's awesome, and definitely look forward to having that. So one of the tattoos I saw was, dude had like Braves, Hawks, Falcons, like it was an entire sleeve.
Yeah, and that's it. So it's and also I will say a lot of fans opted for the throwback Falcons logo, the retro logo, the retro.
Yeah, that's the one.
But for those, because many people have multiple tats. Like some had sleeves, basically some had all ATL or Atlanta. I was just like, wow. And that to me is just a different level of fandom. And I'm like, I'm here for it. I'm here for the Falcons Inc.
My fandom, I got Follies, Strokers, Onyx, Magic City. Like, that's my level of fandom. Like, I'm gonna go get those tattoos pretty soon. I love it.
Yeah, let's hop.
You are too much, sir. You're too much.
Let's hop in the chat before we get started.
Mike,
what's up, man? He said Frank Darby won't. I know what he's talking about. He's talking about the roster cut on the title of the show. Bubba Gump, what's happening, man?
Bubba Gump, steamed shrimp. Hopefully.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Good to see you, man. There he is. There's
Birdo.
Hey.
Let's see you, Dirty Fanatics United. It's Chase. Thomas,
What's up, Chase?
Make sure y'all check out Dirty Fanatics, man. He's doing a great job over there. Just started his show, brand new. So make sure y'all check it out. Hey, look who's there on time.
Hey, what up?
Hey.
Gary said, what up, John? I'm Mike C, and I'm on time today.
Hey, you finally on time. So it's no Walmart run. I love it, Kerry.
She said, excited for the show tonight with Miss Lisa. She's truly an awesome person, diehard Falcons fan. No doubt about it. Miss Pam, what's cracking?
Pam.
Kara, what's going on?
Hey!
Make sure y'all check out Kara on One Time for the Fan.
We love her.
Great show as well.
Hey.
Mr. Edward Mitchell was cracking, man. Let's see. Let me get to a few more people. Jordan, what's going on, buddy?
My man.
Good to see you, man.
Count on you, buddy.
Mactown Dirty was cracking, man.
Mactown Dirty.
Damn right. Berto said energy is up. You know it, dude.
And that's Lisa. We gotta love Lisa, man. We got Lisa. Kenny, my man, Lisa. He says, what up, Big John and Money Mike and Miss Lisa. Can't wait to hear what y'all cooking. You know we cooking. We got Lisa on. But who's gonna tell Uncle Steve Felipe not gonna make the team this year? Uncle Steve, where you at?
Oh man, that's great.
I was surprised they because Franks was on the trip to Germany. I was just like, he's still
Dude, it's amazing. It is amazing. This might be it for him, though. We'll get to it. This might be it for him. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. There's no way.
Yeah, but that same thing I said. We're gonna get her skin thing at the end of the show. We're gonna get her whole skin routine at the end of the show. Yeah.
What products? See what products.
Thank you. That's very nice of you to say.
My man Kenny.
What's going on, Atlanta supporter?
What's up?
Hey, ATL supporter.
Dog, what is your name? You never answer me when I ask you that. What is your name? I don't want to keep calling you that.
I already told you this is you. You're just doing this shit by yourself.
I know, right? Hey, look, he got all my opinions. So, or she. I don't know. But just let me know, because I love you. Use that portal. Hey, that's what I'm saying. We going to in that bracelet. We going to the Super Bowl.
That's right. Chef 5X said, what's good, everybody? Let's turn up for them birds. Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Hopefully, said, love your story, Lisa.
You gotta love it.
Thank you.
You gotta love it.
All right, so a little bit of Falcons news, and we'll get into some other. We got a lot to talk about. Actually,
we do.
It's been a weirdly kind of a busy week, and like football, and I mean, the rookies just reported. We got the veterans reporting on Tuesday. We're going to be there next Thursday to see start a training camp.
Love it.
That'll be fun. Cannot wait to get out there. Let's see. I was going to. Yeah. Okay. So looks like our boy Mr. Pitts is going to be right. If y'all saw the video of him running, he looks just fine. So anybody that was worried about him, y'all can probably chill a little bit. He looks like he's going to be just fine. It wasn't announced by the team, of course, but like he put it, I think it was on IG.
Yeah.
He put there'd be no pup list for him this year. So, good for that. 4 Falcons did make the top 10 of their positions as voted on by NFL execs, which is pretty cool. I thought that a few could have been higher. Like AJ was ranked top 10 corner, or he was number 10 as far as the corners. Thought he could have been a little bit higher than that, but hey, Chris Lindstrom, number 7 interior offensive lineman, which I was.
How?
Yeah, well,
they
included centers too, so it kind of threw like guards. Yeah, I mean, I know, but and then Kyle Pitts, number 7 tight end. So
he's hurt. I get it. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean exactly. Basically, only have one full season when another season.
Go off of,
yeah, basically. And then Jesse Bates was number 6 safety overall. So not
let's
bad.
go.
Yeah. Nothing to be upset about there. Did y'all see Desmond on NFL Live today?
Absolutely. Caught him.
So Dan Orlovsky and the other host, I can't think of his name, but anyway, they shout out to Dan Orlovsky because he actually been showing us some love lately. And so, but they talked to him, and they're asking him like, what was the biggest challenge, I guess, for throwing to throwing to Pitts in London? When he said his biggest challenge was missing them. So he kind of set himself up a little bit, like, so dude, if you're telling me you can't miss them, like, you better not be like missing them by 10, 15 yards. You got people on your ass. But no, he had a great interview. I mean, he's like Mike and I, we talked about before. I mean, he's been a professional since he stepped in the league. I mean, that's just kind of his. You can just tell, like, he answers everything like he's been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
But they asked him about Bijan. He said, just to see that explosiveness in person was just crazy. He's seen it on film, but seeing it in person was just wild. So looking forward to working with him, getting and developing that rapport with Pitts. So, I mean, all good stuff, man. And then actually Orlovsky went on to like show a little like clip of a couple of seam route that Desmond bred really well and threw a great ball for, and like just, it's just cool to see some actually positive things about Desmond instead of folks crapping on him, So that was good.
In my opinion, he handles the media really well. It was a while back where a reporter asked him if he knew about the negative, comments that people were making in mainstream media. And he was like, I mean, I have a TV. So, and I like that he didn't back away from it. I like that he didn't say, oh, I'm not really paying attention to any. No, he was just like, I got a TV. So he knows. And I hope that motivates him, those negative comments. And, I really hope that motivates him and he comes out and balls. I would love to, just stick it to these people that like he's not a professional athlete playing in the NFL.
Lisa, all right, so I can't be rational when it comes to the team. So let's start there. But I need you to be right now. I need you to tell me what is your most positive takeaway from him. It could be from the way he handled media. What is the best thing that you've seen about him so far, about Desmond Ridder? And I need you to give one critique of something that you feel like you don't got to trash him, but just
I wouldn't do that anyway.
Of a thing you feel like he should improve upon or he can work on.
Okay, well, let's start with the positive. The Falcons had a player appearance recently at Atlanta Station. It included Ridder, Drake London, and Tyler Algier. So, of course, Falcons fans everywhere, just seeing how he handled the crowd, the demand. I mean, very professional but friendly. Of course, they wanted people to kind of move through the line quickly, so he didn't have a lot of time to spend with every fan. I mean, he was signing everything from jerseys, posters, rookie cards, like, all kinds of stuff. But, he did engage with everyone. So it was just good to kind of see him, engage with the fans in that way. So that was good to see in person because I saw it for myself. I mean, I think in terms of his play on the football field, though, just him getting familiar with the playbook. I mean, I think the mindset that he had last season, I mean, he knew he was backing up Mariota. So that would be different versus knowing you're the starter. So, and we know he's putting in work. There are things that we do see that the Falcons show us, but there's a lot that we don't see. So we know that he is working with London. I mean, they're boys off the field. I'm assuming, he and Pitts are doing their thing. So I just think, again, with time, I mean, 4 game people are trashing him over a 4-game sample size. And I'm just like, y'all, come on. Like, give the man a chance. Like, give him, let's see what we could. And I mean, he's had a full off season. Training camp starts next week, so it's almost go time. You know what I'm saying? Like, we finally made it through. Like, that's why I was like, yay for the football season. Like, it's coming. Slowly but surely, we made it through the rough part of the year because once training camp hits. And then, the preseason games start. And then, we got Carolina week 1. So I expect to see improvement. And like I said, I mean, it's not like Ridder was a bad player. Now, what I am also talking about, a lot of people put Ridder as a big question mark. In my opinion, is Arthur Smith and his play.
I knew you was coming. I knew you was going to say that, Lisa, but go ahead. Why? Why
because, you saying that? I mean, with all the offensive weapons, how will he make sure that, he's leveraging and maximizing everybody. You know what I'm saying? Algier, now we got Bijan, you got Jonathan Smith, of course, Pitts, you got CP, Drake London. Like, come on, Arthur Smith, because he talking about, negative. He admitted that, there was some questionable play calling that he had. And so my thing is, now you have the addition of these offensive pieces. How are you going to, utilize them? I can't wait. I mean, I'm excited, and I hope Arthur Smith come through for us, because to me, I mean, yeah, obviously Ritter being the quarterback, we need him to play well. But since, Arthur Smith is doing double duty as head coach and offensive coordinator, let's go, sir, because this is on you.
I love it.
Yeah, and exactly. And if y'all saw Fresh Cuts on the Atlanta Falcons YouTube channel, if you haven't, go watch.
I love that. I love
Harry Douglas,
dude, Harry, and I'm gonna reach out to Harry. I like to tell us his no, right? But Harry, John Abraham interviewed Calais Campbell, Jesse Bates, and Jonnu Smith, and they were all like if I said, if you haven't watched it, I mean, I can't tell you the whole thing, but it being like, basically, Harry was talking about his days in Tennessee when Arthur was, quality control or whatever he was, and and he could see then, that this guy was going to be, working his way up the ranks and be a head coach one day. And then Calais said when he was looking to, sign with a team, he was talking to some people he knew, some other coaches he knew in the industry, in the business. He said, "What do you think about Arthur Smith?" And he said, "Well, I know he's the toughest one to scheme against." And so, like, he has that, like, he's like, and we'll get into this too. I listened to a podcast that y'all listen to too. It's called the Playcallers. If y'all seen this on Twitter, shout out to JR. He put me on this from Pound to Pound.
Yeah.
It's a 5-part thing from The Athletic, and it's it's McDaniels. No, I'm sorry. It's Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Mike LaFleur, and then Daniels from the Dolphins. And they all talk about, like, kind of they're basically their rise to where they are now, and like how it came about, all the play calling. So, like, Arthur's on that next tier down. I think he's got to prove it this year, because he's shown like there's been spurts you're like, damn, what a fantastic call, or like, what a great series, like, like they had no idea. And I think he's got that type of ability. He just hasn't had the team yet to do it. So this year he's got the team to do it. So, I mean, like Lisa just said, like, now it's got to be, how are you going to optimize all these skilled players that you have? And how are you going to scheme these guys open? And and Lisa, we said a few weeks ago, like, honestly, I don't care who leads the team in receptions. I don't care who leads the team in rushing. Like, I just want to be scoring a shit ton of points every game. I just
want us to stack W's. However we get it is however we get it.
That's it.
And I'll be honest, man, I think that the team is so talented. I don't care, man. It will prove you incompetent if you can't be successful with it. Because I'm all for excuses. If you hurt, if you don't got the things you say you need to be successful, but once I give them to you and you still struggle, it's you. And I got to be realistic about that. I'm out of my Falcon mind, but I got to be realistic about that too. Like, you fucking up, you personally. So I'm all, like I said, I'm not with trashing nobody. I'm hoping he win it.
Yeah,
man. That's my coach until he prove otherwise. Until he prove he's not my coach, then I'm gonna turn on him. But I'm gonna ride with him until he. But I think I don't want. I speak to all Falcon fans when I say this. Don't judge the man till after the season. You cannot do it. You got to let him have a full season where he shopped for groceries, where he got what he asked for, and I think he'll be successful. I got faith in Arthur Smith, man. I really do.
I mean, year 3 is important. I mean, there's no doubt about it. When Fontenot and Smith first got here, they said that they wanted to build a culture of sustained winning, and we haven't had that yet. So year 3 is when it needs to start. You know what I'm saying? And the owner, Arthur Blank, is not getting any younger. So, I feel like the leeway that maybe he gave other GMs and head coaches, he ain't got the kind of time. So, not saying that he'll, just make a rash decision. But, I mean, he even said it. I mean, he said publicly, basically that he's expecting different outcomes with this 2023 season. So, I mean, Blank said it.
As he should.
Yeah. I mean, you can't add what we've added in the offseason and not expect
Right.
more. Like, I mean, I've said it, I don't know how many times. We were 3 plays away from 10 wins last year.
Yeah.
3 plays.
Yeah.
3 stupid ass plays. And with the squad that we had.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, you look at all the above grades we've had. I mean, there's no way. I mean, you can't. If it's a 7 win, I mean, it would be a gigantic disappointment if it's something's went totally wrong. If that's
right, yeah,
you know, and I thought Arthur, like, for the most part, like his biggest, I guess, goof ups has really been the situational thing. Like, there's been, and it's just been him. I think just outthinking himself. Like, you know, just dude, just it ain't got to be. What
rocket science,
right? I mean, if it's
just do what's working.
Like, does that Washington game come to mind where we?
Don't do it, Lisa.
I'm sorry. I mean, I took it to heart because I was there in the rain, and you know, I'm thinking we about to win it, and then I literally, I just couldn't. Why are we throwing in that situation, sir? What?
Because look, if you run it there. And you don't make it okay, but understand why you do it.
You can live with that, right?
That's what we do. That's what we do.
Girl.
And you're going to run to the right side behind the guys you've been doing and having success with. I get it, but not. Yeah. So that's a perfect example. So I mean, like that stuff, and he knows that. Like he's went back and he's watched film. He's self-scouted. He knows there's places he's got to improve as well. So. You know, I think he'll be just fine, man. Like Mike and I both, and Lisa.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see how he puts it together. Like, you got the talent.
Oh my gosh.
Man, got everything. But I will say this too, and again, it's a spinoff. But not only is the team better than we've had, and like the talent, I believe the coaching is as well.
Oh,
and
big
the staff is. All right. But also, I gotta say this: if y'all aren't paying attention to the content that we got now, and I mean the podcast that's out now, we got Savion is on for the Falcons now. Matt Ryan is on the thing for the Falcons now. Man, we got Lisa now blogging dirty. We got Out of Your Falcon Mind. We got Berto. You know what I'm saying? And all the people who done been killing, man. Mad Mike, Smitty, and Low, all of dog. You getting ready to get the best Atlanta Falcons shit you ever seen this year, and I mean that from on the field, the staff, and then the content. You getting ready to see some shit this season. I mean that on YouTube. I mean that on TikTok. I mean that on podcasts. I mean that for the writers. You getting ready to get the best season you had since you was a kid, man. That's facts. Just so you know.
Yeah, and I mean, and you know, and going back to fresh cuts, I mean, Calais said during that thing too. He said, yeah, he's like, you know, he could see what they were building here. Like, and he loved the meeting with Arthur. Like, everything was just, you know, like I said, when you got a guy that's been in the league that long, when he says that, that means a lot. That's why he was my favorite offseason, because like for him to pick us over even thinking about going to Buffalo or the Jets.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, that's huge. I mean, like, cause you know, he wants to win. I mean, he's only got it, you know, he's a year or two probably left on his career. So, I mean, the fact that he chose us is ridiculous, man. I love it.
And I really like fresh cuts. I feel like, you know, the questions that Abraham and Harry Douglas are asking those guys really, you know, for people to say, you know, the Falcons aren't good, you know, I'm like, but we have top tier players that want to be here. You know, they want to be a part of, you know, this next iteration of the Atlanta Falcons. That's huge to me because, you know, we obviously, you know, had, you know, sour taste in our mouth, you know, from previous franchise players that wanted out of Atlanta. So it's refreshing to have, you know, current players who had options to go other places that want to come to the A and they want to help, you know, turn this around for our team. So, you know, the fact that they're stating that publicly and just the conversations that they've had, I believe it's 3 episodes of Fresh Cuts. I've enjoyed it all. And I think I would like to get more type of that content, you know, where they are kind of, you know, having the players in and they just kind of shooting the breeze and, you know, because as a fan, because, you know, you do have to wonder, well, why did you come here? You know what I'm saying? And they tell you why, you know, for some it's the city, for some it's, you know, Arthur Smith, Arthur Blank, you know, whatever their reasons may be. The fact is they decided to come here to help our team. So
Yeah, and it's different. I think coming from players. I mean, they're going to be more open. They're going to be give you more information than they are going to be, just a media guy.
exactly.
So yeah, it's fantastic. A1 forever, man. Shout out, good. Hey,
A1.
thanks for being here, man. Make sure y'all check out A1's channel too, man. Hey, Atlanta Sports. I hear a lot of people hating on Desmond Ritter. I don't care. I'm 10 toes down on QBs. Too legit to quit.
It's Chosen is his name or her name, but I love you for that. Yeah, because you always rock like out of your Falcon mind.
Hey, Pamela.
The New Orleans game was a turning point for me. He was more ready to start. Yep,
he was. Yeah, his poise was great. I mean, like that's what Shep. Yeah, he said, Shep said, I love his poise in the pocket as well as being able to create plays with his legs. However, I would like to see him use legs just a tad bit more and clean up the deep ball. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Fair. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Miss Pam said that our playbook is wide open. Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
Let's go.
And Brian, what's up, Brian? Good to see you, man.
Brian.
Tish, what's going on?
I agree, Miss Lisa. I'm looking forward to seeing some creative play calling. It better come. Last year was just a wash because of, I'm going to skip that, and lack of top talent around him. Now we will see what Coach Smith can really do.
I agree.
Yeah, Shep says this is the first time he's been here with a solid team since he's been here. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, and they said I really hope.
And that's no diss to Matty Ice. Don't you do it. We not dissing Matty Ice. That's no diss to Matty. But yes, the team.
This would be great. I really hope the Benz has the rights to the 9 to 5 song that we played every time that Drake scores TD. That'd be awesome. That would be great, man. Yeah, first time, absolutely, man. And Shep said, quick question: do you think Dez can have a better year than what Daniel Jones had this past year?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean. It all depends on. I think it's a totally different offense. That's the thing. We don't know. Like I know, Art says he wants to be more balanced, but and it's no question he'll be a better passer. I think than what Marcus was. Marcus was not a good passer. We know that. But yeah, it just depends. I think he could. I mean, that stupid PFF bets thing was like over or under 2,600 yards. Like that's averaging 153 yards a game. Like if he's not doing that, we got problems. Like we've got problems. So yeah, I think that could. Yeah, I mean, it could be very close, man. Hey, dude, thank you. Hopefully.
We love you, man. Thank you, buddy.
Man, I got to get like a special.
Cincy. Last year we were in every game except Cincy. I feel like everything is coming together this year. Hopefully. We love you, buddy. Thank you.
I was late on the applause. I had to put that in there for the.
I love it.
Appreciate the super chat, man. Very much so. Miss Derek Fanatic said, Miss Lisa, much love. Love your articles. Hope to collaborate.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I'm down with y'all.
Jamal, what's going on? Man?
What's good, man?
Shep said, no, I love him, man.
Hey, I could go for an hour. I don't start another podcast.
Yeah, you definitely could. All right. So, we could. We both could. It's funny. You were just like speaking on this. I thought this article was hilarious. So, Happy Hour Sports wrote an article about our division, right? And they basically predicted us another 7-win season, which I mean, it's been multiple ones, but it's just how it's described. So it's where I think the Falcons will struggle is on defensive side of the ball. Atlanta fans will tell you that their struggles have been in the trenches and then on defense, and they once again did nothing in all caps to build on this offseason. The Falcons brought in Bud Dupree and Calais Campbell, which on paper are two big names. So you look at their ages and guess where the production is projected to go next due to how old these guys are. Dupree is 30 years old. He's the same age as Grady Jarrett. Also the same age as David Onyemata. We know how old Calais is. Didn't mention Taquan Graham coming back. Didn't mention Eddie Goldman coming back. Didn't mention Demi Horn, who's fighting for a spot, going to come back. Or even the edge play. Anyway, Atlanta were able to add Jesse Bates, Jeff Okudah to their secondary, but when the opposing quarterback has all the time in the world due to having zero pressure on him, makes the lives of secondary so much more miserable. I may have the wrong perception here, but it just feels like Saints, Ravens, and Lions successfully dumped off any aging and or failed players on defense to Atlanta.
What's his name?
It's from Happy Hour Sports. It's from Happy Hour Sports. I'll have to look at the writer, but. I mean, what the hell? I mean, are you serious? Yeah. I mean, it dumped off their aging, failed players. Onyemata is a failed player. Caden Ellis is a failed player.
I know some Saints that were mad that some of their players came to us. So, I'm not really understanding
That's why we need you right there, Lisa. Is like to counterbalance that bullshit. No, I'm dead ass.
Yeah. Sometimes people just be putting anything out there.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, that was. I just called by because I was thought, because I think by ESPN metrics, we have a 27% chance to win the division, and the Saints have a 42% chance. That's, I think, what they said.
Wow.
David Carr, man, it's got to be David Carr. I mean, like they think he's the best quarterback in the division, which he could be, but I seriously doubt it, man. I got no faith in him whatsoever until he shows it. I mean, he had Devontae Adams, he had Darren Waller, he had Josh Jacobs. I mean, come on.
Because I feel like last year when Carr was with the Raiders and they played the Aints, they scored a whopping 0 points.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a whole 0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, granted, he's on a different team now, but I mean, that kind of offensive production, they put their faith in. Well, I guess you're saying in comparison to the other NFC South QBs, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because you just don't. I mean, they have nothing to go off of. I mean, they have nothing. Right. I mean, Bryce is a rookie. Our 4 games with Desmond, and then Baker. I mean,
Baker Mayfield.
Baker hasn't been consistent. I don't know how long. I mean, he'll have a good game, and he'll look like he's never played football before, and then he'll have another good game, and it's like. So you don't know what's going to happen there. And if he sucks, it's going to Kyle Trask, who, come on now. I mean, what are we doing there? So, I mean, I just don't see how you can. But to me, that's just lazy. I mean, that's just not looking at the full. That's not even my bias speaking. That's just like, just look at it and see what happens. See what, but anyway. Millie Mills, what's cracking, man?
Millie Mills.
Brian said, I think this was part of their plan. First 2 years was a war wash, then get rid of the dead cap this year. Able to compete, short-term, long-term plan. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, they did the best they could with what they had.
Yeah. And we know that. So we had to come off of those contracts that were albatrosses. So.
And we did well with what we had. We really did.
Yeah. Yeah. A couple of plays here or there. We could have easily been 10-7. So.
Yeah. We could have made the playoffs with what we had. So they did well.
I mean, you have Matt the first year, which is Matt's obviously not the ideal quarterback for this offense, I mean, and they worked it out, and he did well. He even got Russell Gage paid. I mean, like he had a hell of a year with Kyle Pitts. I mean, he knew how to use him at least.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's which is funny, man. That Playcallers podcast, by the way, when they were talking to Kyle, and they talk obviously they bring up the Super Bowl, of course, because they talk about 2016 season because it was, we were just killing people, right? I mean, like the points was out of this world, and Kyle was saying, well, you asked me, if I'm going to be conservative or if I'm going to be aggressive in those situations. He's like, my personality is to be aggressive. He's like, but as you get older, you realize, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I shouldn't drive that fast, or maybe I shouldn't, feel like retrospect, he would have ran the ball. He would have not thrown the ball 3 times and the entire game. So it's like he kind of goes into that. That's the most I've heard him talk about it. I mean, that evening. But I think if he stays, we would have just kept rolling, man. Like the way he schemes things is like he sees it differently, and that, like I said, that I can encourage anybody to listen to that Playcallers podcast. It's really damn cool.
You got me intrigued. I'm going to check it out for sure.
It's really good. They did really good. I'm only 3 in right now. There's 5 total. I think it's about an hour each one, but it's really neat. It's like I said, just seeing how they kind of came up together at Washington. They talk about the time with RG3 up there, and how Kyle's dad, Mike, drafted him, and like they had a perfect fit for that offense. And RG3 was on there talking about the injury, and he's like, I do think that there need to be people on the sidelines that can protect the players from themselves, because he's like, if you ask any player that's hurt, they're going to still try to play. And he was like, I probably shouldn't have kept playing, but I needed somebody to tell me to get out that game, but there wasn't that person there. So, things in that year, I mean, y'all that don't remember, RG3 had a ridiculous offensive rookie of the year that year.
He was
passing, rushing, everything. And I mean, you listen to how, like that year, right? Alfred Morris was killing it.
He had 1,000 yards.
6th round running back, right?
Yep.
And that leads us into our next topic, man, these running backs. So they came and went, the whole franchise tag thing, right? So Tony Pollard, what's his name?
Saquon.
Saquon, and Third dude. Who was the third dude? Just mind blanked on it.
Oh yeah, mine did too. Let me see.
Anyway, they all didn't get franchise and they all didn't get extended. And it came out the average salary of a running back is actually less than the average salary of a kicker, except for a few. So it's like, where do y'all think this running back thing is going? Because you talk to most everybody that builds rosters and they all say, you know what, drafting a running back early is just not smart, because then 3 to 4 years you have to pay them if they produce, right? And if you don't, you just that sets a bad precedent, because then you look like a bad organization. We're not going to reward the guy who's done well for you, so it puts you in a weird spot. And people have been criticized, and obviously we've got criticized for taking Bijan. Right. And so to my comeback is he's not just a running back, and I mean I think that's, and we've talked about the whole positionless football thing. You know, if you're telling me he's going to line up at receiver how percentage of the time and running back percentage of the time, then he's worth more than a typical running back would be worth. So I'll be fine extending him if he's that type of player on the offense. If he's just that type of player, I get it. Like, you know, you can replace guys, you know, every 4 or 5 years. And I mean, some fit certain schemes better than the others, but overall, the actual just like say Tyler type of running back, that's probably not going to get paid, because they can just kind of replace those guys, you know? So like but to see Saquon, I mean, that type of talent not get paid, Tony Pollard to come out what he did. And I'll think of the third one in a second if y'all want to.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
It's driving me crazy. But just nuts, man. I mean, you could be seeing a shift, but like that, it kind of started with Shanahan. Like that whole scheme that Shanahan ran showed that you could, like, you're running the zones.
Josh Jacobs.
That's it. Golly, we just talked about him. But yeah, I mean, he kind of showed, like, if in that zone rushing scheme, you don't have to have a guy that's just the first round pick. You can have a good runner with good vision, but the blocking setup, he talked about how you could run he figured out how you could run the zone blocking scheme out of the pistol formation. So, you know, it wasn't giving away what that you were doing to the defense. Like, it's just wild, man. It was like, it's really cool to listen to him talk about it. I still don't wish anything good to happen to him, because I'm just petty like that.
Oh, but I am too. Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's right. It's a double-edged sword. Like, you're happy, like, you're thankful he was here, because we had an amazing season, right? I mean, just an amazing season. But then you screwed us in the ultimate game. So it's like, you know, I still can't wish anything good upon you.
I can never forgive Shanahan. So
I'm the same way. I don't.
Yeah.
No.
I wish I could Nerf ball him. You remember those Nerf guns when you were younger? I could Nerf ball him. But how did you guys feel about Derrick Henry's tweet? He said something basically to the effect of the NFL should, what did he say? Basically, get rid of the running back position. This is how you're going to treat it. But I wouldn't go that far, because we know that, you know, the football I grew up on, it wasn't this, you know, air raids that we see in today's NFL. I feel like, you know, especially like, you know, in inclement weather, you're going to rely on the running game instead of the passing game. So running backs, and I mean, just think our most successful, you know, when we had our Super Bowl run, you know, it was Freeman and Tevin Coleman, you know, the running, those two, I love them too. I talk about them all the time, Lisa. The outcome if Coleman hadn't gotten injured too, as well. Remember? So, you know, I mean, you know, do you take them high? Maybe not. But I mean, I think there is some disparity, as we saw by the numbers, right? And I do think the NFL needs to address that.
So,
yeah. And I mean, I don't know that.
I gotta say this.
Oh, go ahead, Mike. Sorry, buddy.
It'll be slightly harsh, because I have friends of mine. Now, if you have a job that you work in, like Amazon, or you work in like a warehouse, you might be unhappy with your pay a lot of the time when you have these jobs. But the reason why you get paid, the reason why you get paid the rate you get paid, is they can easily replace you with anybody else. So if you messed up, they could swap you out the same day with like an elderly person, with a person on the spectrum. You don't have a skilled job set. Like, when they feel like, oh, I could swap you out and the same thing will get done, the same production, you have no leverage. So what I'm saying is, at a running back position, you have to be exceptional. And not only do you have to be exceptional, you have to hold out. you got to stand on what you stand on. If you take the money, you can't really. I understand it's unfair, but I feel like you got to be exceptional. If they know they can swap you out and they get the same production, you have no leverage. If I can, okay, you saying I owe you how much? Okay, bye. I'm gonna get a rookie and he'll get 1,000 yards just the same. You got to be Barry Sanders. You have to be exceptional to be able to command. Yeah, I can do something that no one else can do. So I have leverage. When you can't do that, man, I know it sucks, but that's the way the world works. That's the way it goes for like your girlfriend, your boyfriend. You need leverage. You need to be able to do something or be good at something that they can't, readily swap you out. You would be surprised if your husband, wife, if you get beside yourself and you become regular and these people could swap you out, they'll swap you out. So you got to be able to cook a little extra. You got to be able to do a little extra, if you know what I mean. When it come down to it, you need to be able to do extra. You need to make yourself valuable. So I just say, man, you work harder. I don't know how you improve as a running back. I'm not a running back, but I agree with them. I think that you got to be exceptional. And if they can swap you out and they get the same production, you have no leverage. But you got to make yourself so they can't just swap you out and put anybody. Like, I love Tyler, but he don't look exceptional. Like, oh my God, I never seen this before. It appears like, dog, if we swapped you for somebody else, we could probably have the same type of product. And you have no leverage when it comes to that, even though that sucks, because I love Tyler, but you can't command pay with that. That's all I'm saying. And it sucks, but you can't. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, and JR brought up a good point last night on Pound for Pound. He said, could some of it be due to how quarterbacks are paid? Because I mean, even mediocre quarterbacks are paid. I mean, like they're overpaid to an extent.
Yeah,
I mean, because of how valuable that position.
How the market goes. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, and I mean, how it is in high school. I mean, if the best athletes in high school end up being running backs, because it's different in high school. You can run all day long on teams in high school if you have that stud of a running back. Look at Derrick Henry's high school film. He looks like a freaking giant out there, like just running over folks. But you could see it. How sometimes colleges, and when they go out and they scout folks and they just like there's not a position, they just say it's an athlete. Yeah, we could be seeing that.
Yeah.
There could be more Bijan type of guys as this trickles down. That's like, okay, I can run, but I can also catch passes just as well as a receiver can.
Yes,
you can make yourself more. The more you can do,
and I can block.
Right. The more you can do, the more valuable you are, basically. You know what I mean? So like the traditional running back, that we've seen over the years may be, that may be because you still need those guys. But like I said, it's the different offensive schemes over the years have just kept showing like you can get by with third, like Isaiah Pacheco last year. Yeah. Was he 6th or 7th for the Chiefs? It happens every year. I mean, our own guy, Tyler, 5th round. I mean, 1,000 yards rushing, so
that was a pleasant surprise. Like, who saw that coming?
Yeah, I did.
Man, no diss to him either. He's a great player. I'm not trying to diss him. I love him.
Oh, that was my guy. I knew I had some. I was like, I watched. That's the guy. At least that's the guy I wanted out of the draft. Yeah. Like that was. I called him early on. Like that was the only one I got right. But it's all right. Got one of them right. Jamal said, "What do you fellas and lady expect Zach Harrison out of year one?"
I'm gonna hand this one to you, Lisa. What you expect from Zach Harrison year one, fresh out the gate?
Yeah, I don't know. Didn't really follow him, so I'll defer to you guys on him.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't expect him to start off fast. I expect him to build, but I think he'll 2 and 3. I think he'll be exceptional. But I don't expect him to start fast.
Right.
I expect him to get better over time. But it's hard to just come in the NFL but that's not a thing.
Well, at that position, unless you're just an exceptional pass rusher and in college, there's definitely a little adjustment period because all of a sudden you're seeing tackles now that can stop you. That one move that worked for you in college doesn't work anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the thing with Harrison is, and I mean, like you're right. Like I don't think he'll just be. I think he'll be part of that rotation at the edge. I don't think there's going to be. It'll be kind of depending on who we're playing, but Zach doesn't have to be amazing this year. He just has to be good against the run, like he was at Ohio State. He's got long ass arms. He's tall. He's
Strong,
a big
man.
dude. So like, I mean, I said I think it was a few shows ago. He never reached his potential at Ohio State.
Yeah.
So I think
Shout out to Dan.
Yeah, exactly. I think he'll reach his potential here, but especially with the coaching he's got around him and the guys like Calais and I mean all the experienced guys he has around him. I think if he wants to put in the work, now he can, like Mike just said, 2 or 3 years from now, you're probably gonna be seeing the best version of him. But we'll see. Brown people said Carr is very inconsistent. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean,
put it lightly.
Absolutely. He is.
Jamal said Derek Carr has the most interception and fumbles combined of any QB over the past 5 seasons. Learned that watching First Things First.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Thank you, Jamal.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Another PR.
What's going on, man?
What's up,
It
buddy?
has been a bit, man. Good to see you.
Love to have you, man.
Bates does have Carr's
Bates
number.
has
That's right.
Yep.
Intercepted him last year, I believe.
Oh, he mentioned that. Didn't he mention that in a Falcons interview?
Right.
That was one of his favorite interceptions was on Carr.
That's right. That's great. Shep said, laughed my ass off. Ellis played great once he started toward the end of the season. Meaningful games. Calais is great for the locker room presence. Still has some left in the tank, but is healthy when solid. Yeah, that's why I said, man, like if Bud stays healthy, he said all the right things, man. He wants to be violent. Hey, man, go be violent. I'm all about it.
And I feel like we can't underestimate veteran presence. Y'all remember how Vic Beasley flourished under Dwight Freeney's mentorship?
Yep.
I mean, I know yes, he's older.
If Vic Beasley can do it, I mean, anybody can do it. Come on, man. If he can get it done, anybody can get it done.
I mean, I guess I just don't, people are like, oh, he's old. I mean, but, he still has a little bit left. And I think he understands his role, which is really to coach up these younger guys. And I mean, you can't unvalue that, in my opinion.
Millie Mills, Clark Phillips, man, don't do that, man. I love Millie Mills, but he too realistic. He's too realistic for out of your Falcon mind, buddy. Like
somebody cutting Phillips. Somebody cutting Phillips.
Clark Phillips, nah, he's saying slot QB with trouble. Come on, man, you gotta. And you think, man, have you seen Desmond? He's got to take play action pass. Come on, Millie, come on, Millie.
He's got to take. I think Alfred's going to have the. I think he's going to take that job from Alfred because he's going to fight like hell to keep that, and I think he will. I think the Alfred's going to keep that
Clark
job.
Phillips, let's go.
And then the 20+ yards, man. I think the run game's open that right up, man.
That's what I'm saying. Play action, Millie.
If you're running well, I think that's going to open that right up, man.
Speaking of D. Alford, were y'all on Twitter where he made a post like, which podcast should I join? Did y'all put y'all name in? Okay.
Oh, we sure as hell did. Yeah. And we got a bunch of likes. So hey, anybody that liked that or retweeted that, thank y'all. Because he went and liked one of our posts. And so
okay.
Maybe who knows? Maybe he'll reach out. Maybe
never know.
He'll come on. You never know.
Out of your Falcon mind. Let's go, D.
Another PR said Dalvin Cook. Yeah, that was another running back. The Vikings didn't bring back Dalvin Cook. So it's crazy, man. Austin Eckler, was in that mix before. Exactly.
That was my man.
Austin, I mean, just nuts, man. He said, "Are we becoming Canadian football?"
Duh. Hey, so I got a question for you, Miss Lisa. I got one for you. You've seen a lot of Falcons over the years. I'm asking you, who is the most underrated Falcon? He can be known, but just somebody you feel like he's really good. He contributed so much, and we really don't give him the credit that you feel like he deserves, or he didn't really have the fame or like the popularity that you feel like his talent garnered.
Oh, wow. Gosh.
Oh, I got 10 of these. You on the wrong.
Really?
You got to come on, man. You on out of your
Falcon? Yeah, 10? Like what position?
No, I'm saying I got 10 crazy questions for you. Come on, man. No, but I'm just asking you, who did you feel like it could be anybody? Who do the fans just not give the due credit to that you feel like that he was damn good, but we really he just don't get his due from the Falcon fans?
God, you mean current? Oh, you said current or past players?
Oh, it don't matter. See, I love shit. Like I'm a stump you 20 times.
That's a great one, Brian.
Brent Grimes, you're damn right. Good one. Keith Brooking is another one.
Oh, I did like Brooking. I remember Brent Grimes' wife more than I remember.
Hey,
she was off the chain. His wife, my God,
she
brought all the smoke. Like you couldn't play with her, man. But golly.
just a player who you personally like, damn, he is really good, but he's just not a famous type of oh my God player. But who you saw like, I feel like he's a really good player.
I mean, the ones that are easily coming to mind, I kind of don't want to say it because he fell off in the end, but initially I liked him, and one big reason I liked him because he helped us win a pivotal game against the Aints, but Debo. I mean, he's no longer.
Oh, there you go. I love it.
So, and even though, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, he's undersized, you know, in his prime, he did have speed.
Yep.
And I'll just never forget that red zone INT. I remember Breeze was driving. It was our first, the bands had just opened. So it was, you know, our first game versus the Aints at home. And they were about to win. I'll never forget that game, not only because of that, you know, game-saving INT, but, you know, of course, you know, after the game, when, you know, the game is, you know, over, you know, we turned up, you know, we hyped, leaving. And I have video. I'll send it to you guys. You know, I'm minding my business, cheering, laughing, having a good time. 308 ladies came from behind me talking about, well, we still leading the division. And I was like, who are they talking to? And they were talking to me like, they are behind me. I guess I was having too much fun. I guess it bothered them. Yeah. They roll up on me talking about we still leading the division. And I was just like, congratulations. Like, what you want me to do about it? You didn't win the game today. Like, it was, yeah. I have video. I will send it to y'all. Because I'm just like, I know you're not trash talking me, leaving my bins. Like, and they were older ladies, and I didn't want to, you know, I mean, I wanted them to know what time it was, but because I was filming. So I had it, I was, you know, I was like, wait a minute, you talking to me? You got the right one.
I love it. Because he really was good in his prime. He really was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great one, Lisa. I love
Millie
it.
said,
Finneran and Vic. Oh, my.
Yeah. Yep.
I think Finneran, I mean, we knew the value he added. He was solid with Vic, man. Yep. I've met him a couple of times. He's cool.
I've been trying to get him on the show.
Oh, okay.
He ain't responded yet, but, you know, I keep trying.
I'll see what I can do.
I'm going to tell you like this. If you ever get Matt Ryan and you don't shout me out, I'm blocking you on all platforms. Okay? Matt Ryan, out of your Falcon mind. I love it.
I still have my Matt Ryan jerseys, and I still wear them. So
I do too. Absolutely.
What's Carr's record against the Falcons?
0.
Thank you,
Chase.
Chase.
The Falcons.
Thank you, Chase.
Woo! I'm ready, y'all. Someone had a proposal to make.
Running back a 2-year contract. You know, give them a chance to
I
agree with that.
I would be okay with
It's fair.
That's
Agreed. And Brian said Zach Harrison may see a few snaps, but he's going to be learning under Campbell and Dupree. Yeah, 100%, man.
So I got to ask you this, Lisa, too. How you feel about Troy Anderson?
I think he's going to come along. I'm okay with Troy. I am. I know some people didn't like the pick. I'm okay with it.
I do. I love it. Okay. Love it. Kevin
Coleman. Kevin Coleman's a good one. Brian Peoples, I love it, man. Babineau.
Oh, yes.
Like, you don't understand.
Babineau, he was one of our franchise players. People didn't underrate him.
Yeah.
You think so?
I think after he left, because we were so, after he left, other than Grady, we were so shitty in the middle there. It's like you forget how, because you don't understand what you got till it's gone, man. And then when you can't get no pressure from this side anymore, man.
That the fans, they appreciated, but they didn't appreciate him how they should have, was Trufant. Trufant was damn good for a long time, man.
But he wasn't the same after his injury.
Oh,
and I think that's where, you know.
Yep. He was damn
Sanu's a good one.
Oh, I love Sanu.
TQ's a good one.
Hey, that's Miss Pam. They don't even get what he allows Grady to do. They still don't get it yet. They still don't understand.
Kiara said I curse all people.
Oh, I'll see the video. They had me hot. Oh my goodness. Me too.
Fellas, how you doing, Miss?
I'm giving everybody the smoke. You know, all these people with these low expectations. Let us start winning. I'm tweeting everybody. They getting the smoke, and I'm keeping the receipts because screenshots don't die.
I love it.
Hey, another good one.
Oh, yeah. So Patrick DeMarco. That was a good one. He was very pivotal during our Super Bowl run. I agree. That's one I forgot. Oh, yeah. That's true.
Play perfect covers and drop the
yeah. Butterfingers on the INTs.
Hey, easy. I'm old, too. Hey, I'm old. Hey, man. Come on. You know,
man.
That's a good question, though, Mike. I mean, I wasn't prepared for it, but you got me thinking now.
Oh,
But yeah, Patrick DeMarco. Oh, Alex Mack.
Oh, yes.
Alex Mack. That was the pickup, like that. You know, he was pivotal in our Super Bowl run. You know, as we found out later, he was really, really injured during that game and still was trying to push through. Yeah, Alex Mack.
Yep.
Then before him, Todd McClure.
Oh, thank you, John.
You went back, okay?
Yep.
Yeah, man. Harvey Dahl. We remember how nasty Harvey Dahl was.
Harvey Dahl was nasty. Yeah,
man. Defensive lineman did not want to play him, man.
No,
at all. So I know Lisa's watched this. I just finished it last night. Mike, you got to watch it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know what
quarterback
you're talking about
on Netflix. So they followed Marcus. They followed Patrick Mahomes. They followed Kirk Cousins. 3 things that I learned from it. I like Kirk Cousins a lot. I don't know how you can watch it and not like him. Just as a person, like the dude's just a great person. And he's definitely like that prototypical, like corny white dude from the Midwest. Like he like, I think it was Padre, our boy on Twitter. He was like, man, I can't help but keep thinking of like Ned Flanders.
Oh yeah.
It's like 100% accurate. Pat Mahomes may be the best quarterback we've ever seen play the game when it's all said and done. That's also what I learned. And Marcus lost us some games, man.
Yeah.
Really lost us some games. Yeah. And then they covered the part where he left, and, you know, they asked Art, and Art was, you know, he said that conversation that they had, he didn't talk about going to have that knee surgery during the conversation when he told him that they was, you know, choosing to start Desmond. That wasn't part of the conversation. He didn't go into what it was said. He said, you know, I need to stay private, but that's not what we talked about. So he went ahead to go have this knee surgery. And I guess they asked Marcus, you know, obviously, you know, everybody thought that he just quit and left, right? And he said, I don't know why everybody got that impression. I thought this was best for everyone. How the hell is leaving the team best for everyone when you got a rookie quarterback coming in? Like,
and I mean, the Mariota coverage for me, I didn't honestly learn anything new. All of our assumptions were confirmed, at least for me, in that Netflix documentary. I really feel like Mariota didn't take accountability. And I feel like, you know, and remember, y'all, because in real time, things just weren't adding up. I was just like, something wrong with his knee. That injury was never on an injury report the 13 games he played. So not only was it not on an injury report, the fact that you didn't tell your coach, you know, once Arthur Smith said that wasn't part of the conversation, him having a knee issue, it really put Arthur Smith in my opinion, in an awkward situation. He's having to answer for Mariota's absence, and he really himself was in the dark. Because if you look at those press conferences, you know, he would say stuff kind of like, oh, he's not in the building. And they were like, well, when is he coming back? And he was like, I don't know. I mean, I was just like, what is going on?
Yeah, Lisa remember everything. And word for word what you said when you did.
It was very like, Mariota, you're not serious right now. And my thing is, I mean, honestly, the way it read to me was he got benched, he was in his feelings, and he dipped. To me, that's just what it was.
I agree.
And that the documentary, I was going into it when I first heard that, you know, Netflix was covering Mariota. I was hoping that the documentary would give us more insight into his thought process, how things played out the way they did. You know, sir, you were 5-8 when you got benched. What did you want Atlanta to do? You know what I mean? And I think it's not only that we lost, it's how we lost. You know, we lost games on your play.
Yes.
So I just don't really know. And you know, him not really being there, you know, to mentor Ritter the last 4 games. I mean, you know, Ritter was fine. I mean, that was his shot to do his thing, but I guess I just don't understand why Mariota doesn't understand why we drew the narrative that we did based on the information that we had.
Yeah. I mean,
you gotta be like that. I would love to like articulate it, but it's just street with him. It's just, man, you just a fucking sucker. Like, you just a fucking sucker. Like, you did some sucker shit. Like the thing I talk about, man, Matt Ryan, that y'all skip over. Okay, to play on the field. The man was a professional to the definition. On and
he got benched twice, and he was still on the Colts sideline.
Professional every single time, no matter what was going on. I don't care when we was jerking him. Professional in the media the whole time. So for you to get benched or to have struggles that you caused with your play, it wasn't that we was picking on you, man. This man, when it got you, had faith in you. He took a chance on you, and you embarrassed the man. And then that's what I'm saying. To walk off when it's a rookie that you could talk to and you could help
for 4 games, 4 more weeks. I mean, I know he just had a kid and all of that, but it just, I mean, I guess I just don't understand, you know, why he wouldn't expect Falcons fans to feel the way we feel. I mean, you confirmed it. Like you know, you were like, well, I thought it was best for everyone.
No.
That doesn't make any sense under those circumstances. No, sir, you made a decision on your own. You did not inform the coach. So that to me, let me know, because to me, if it's a legitimate, you know, if you tell your employer, hey, I need leave because of this, then okay, you work through that. But Arthur Smith, because you could tell that he was not trying to throw Mariota under the bus, but he was in an awkward position. And you know how he gets in press conferences, you know, he's a little snippy, you know, because I remember one reporter when he coming back, I don't know, because he didn't know. He didn't know.
No, he didn't know
what was. I just felt like, dog, to handle that when it's somebody that needs you, who you could mentor through his experience, and you choose not to do that. I don't even think that's like some manly shit to do. It's not being a man. It's not being a professional.
It's not being professional for sure.
It's not being nothing. It's just a weak man. So I'm not a fan of you as a human. Man.
Yeah, and someone asked me earlier, you know, how did I feel about, you know, Mariota in the documentary? I was like, Mariota wasted everybody's time because, you know, we learned nothing new. And, you know, it's unfortunate. And I was actually a little surprised that Philly picked him up, you know, but Philly better hope that nothing happens to Hurts, because he can be throwing, you know, balls from his butt like he did in the Carolina game. Like, what was that?
Yeah. You just have to read between the lines with because that's when Arthur. That was what it told me when Arthur said that's not what we discussed. That's all. That's all I got to tell you. That's just him telling you that. Yeah, and and Lisa sent me this on the Philadelphia Eagles fan page. Mariota said, "I'm at the point in my career where I just want to enjoy the game. I want to have fun doing it. The scheme is very exciting for me, and the matter is, I feel like I can help Jalen."
Now you want to help.
Man? Now you want to help.
Now you want to help somebody. Okay.
And if we can,
Jalen not even a rookie.
If we can make Jalen a better player, then this team's going to be better. And to be a part of a team that was a play away from winning the Super Bowl was an opportunity that I couldn't pass up on. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
The content of your character means something to me, man. And he got poor character.
I mean, yeah, it was just handled so wrong. I mean, like quarterbacks get cut every year. They get benched every year. Mm-hmm. They don't leave the team every time it happens. I mean, like you said, he had a baby. That happens too. Players have babies all the time during the season. They normally miss. Maybe they might miss a game. Or if you're Jake Matthews, you freaking haul ass right back up, and play. So like.
His heart wasn't in it. Once he got benched, his heart wasn't in it. He was ready to get up out of Atlanta. So
Tony Romo handled that transition with the utmost class. Man, Fitzgerald for the Cardinals, man, he got put in the slot. He couldn't be handled it with the utmost. I've seen people way better than you have to transition, and they handled it with the utmost class professionally. You handled it like a sucker.
Yeah, I think he and we'll end it on this because now we don't even talk about Marcus anymore. He's gone, but he. You know, his wife said earlier in the documentary, like, you know, when he got benched in Tennessee, that was like a really like down moment for him because that was
it shook his confidence,
right? Because he was a Heisman Trophy winner, you know, coming out of work. He never really experienced this type of like, you know, part of his, you know, being down and, you know, not succeeding. So I think he thought, you know, having this second opportunity, this is going to be it. And then it happened again, you know, and it was just I don't think he's just mentally.
No.
You know, there for that type of thing to happen, and you know, oh well, not our problem anymore. And like you said, hopefully Jalen stays healthy. For them, because man, and
because Philly sports media will eat him up if he goes up there and wets the bed. Oh my, Atlanta media doesn't even compare to some markets like Philly, New York, so he better toughen up.
Hey, Jamal said Hoop ain't been the same since he left Matty.
Right.
That's
quiet as kept. It's a few people ain't been the same since they left Matty.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's Hoop with now?
Man, look at him playing like
Sam Baker, JJ, good one. My man JJ, what's up?
Terrible. Sam Baker, my ass.
Sam Baker.
So bad. Taylor Gabriel.
Taylor
was my man.
Speedy Taylor. Marcus is a lie. A whole lie. Yeah.
Yeah, just that show is mostly about that. Yeah, exactly. And that was cool, man. That you got to see like his relationship with Andy Reid, which was really cool, seeing like how they go back and forth, and his wife and his family life, and like just everything about it was cool. Miss Pam said he quit. He sure did.
Yeah, I don't like no man. Man was running for his life instead of throwing.
Well, he was overthrowing Pitts.
But you needed knee surgery. Yeah, you walked out the building just fine. He looks good in the design QB run all season. He was not hurt. He wasn't hurt. He just not accountable. Yeah, I don't care. Mariota, aka Mr. Spinner-Rooney pass quitted on us. Yeah.
And this is exactly what me and Lisa talked about. It just pissed me off all the way over.
Yeah, it did. I felt the same way. Man, and like memories I've forgotten about. They brought them up when they would show our game footage, and I was like, dang it.
Man,
I was mad all over again.
Yeah, the Saints game right up from the start, the botched snap. I'm like, mother, here we go.
Oh, he kept doing that.
It just happened, yeah.
Not
Spinner-Rooney. Yeah, that was funny.
So I got another one for you, Lisa.
Come on,
Berto. I got to get my man Berto.
Oh, the funniest thing
Mariota said was once he arrived in Philly, I get to mentor a great QB in Hurts. Man, stop it. Hurts don't like he already don't need you. Like he don't need you at all. But Desmond needed you, dog, and you rolled out on sucker. Yeah. So I got another one for you, Lisa. You can bring back one Atlanta Falcon of past. You can bring him back for 1 year at the peak of his talents to help our team next season. You don't worry about money and all that pay, but you can bring back a past Falcon of any generation for 1 season to help our team next season. Who you bringing back and why?
Easy money, Roddy White. Y'all about this wide receiver too. Roddy. Number one, Roddy's swag was just on point. He still reps the Falcons. And I mean, how things ended with him and Shanahan wasn't all that great. But he still, reps the Falcons. But just how he rides for this team, when you talk to him, he'll say we. He's still very much a part of this organization. So that was easy breezy, Roddy.
She had that loaded.
I love it. He's one of my all-time faves.
I love it. Roddy White, 84. Matt Ryan is a true professional. Provided us stability and leadership for a decade after the whole Vic said. And don't y'all never forget that shit. Don't you ever forget. Matt gave us all for the Falcons, and we unfortunately brought in the leadership and talent he needed after he was done. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna buy him a ring and I'm gonna mail it to his house. I don't care. If we win a Super Bowl, he should get an honorary ring. I'm sorry. He carried us for too long. Mariota played so bad. We was the show after episode 6. It's 8 episodes.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, like he really. Once he got benched, there was nothing to cover. I did too. No doubt about it. It's like how you end it.
Yep. Brian said, "How can you help a QB that's a runner up in the Super Bowl and MVP? It make no sense." Yeah.
Anyway, how can Mariota? Because Mariota hasn't reached the levels of Hurts.
He said Marcus trying to ride the bench. There's no way around it. I pray we somehow play the Eagles in the playoffs, and he has to play. Ooh, I like that, Jamal. Although, Deion Sanders is who you bring back. Yeah. Yes.
Jesse Tuggle, the hammer. Yeah. Got to see Tuggles.
Yeah. John Abraham.
On defense, and I'm glad to see him being involved with the organization and him doing stuff. Yeah, we need a sack. Yeah.
What up, Tyler?
Brooking, Deion. I'm bringing back Deion.
That boy Tyler from Fat Boy Fadeaway.
No, I'm bringing back. Now y'all know who I'm bringing back. I won't gotta say.
No, of course you are.
You know who I'm bringing back.
Of course you are.
Super Bowl run, Matty Ice. Come on.
Of course you are.
He could be 67. I'm bringing him back.
All right, so. Finally, let's look at this roster.
Okay.
So we're going to start with the cornerbacks. So there's obviously a couple that's set in stone, right? AJ is definitely going to be on the team. We know that, right? We would think Okuda is going to be on the team, right? Barring anything crazy. So then we're looking at D. Alford, Trey Flowers, Darren Hall, Mike Hughes, Micah Abernathy, Cornell Armstrong, Breon Borders, Natrone Brooks, Clifford Chapman, Lucas Dennis from the XFL, DeMarco Helms, which he'll probably end up being safety anyway, but or is a safety, and then Clark Phillips. So there's a ton of guys in that CB room, man. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think Darren Hall. I think we've probably seen the end of Cornell Armstrong.
No.
Breon Borders. I'm sorry. I don't know, man. Lucas Dennis had a great year in XFL, but I don't know about that. I mean, Clark Phillips, you would think obviously he's going to make it because of the draft pick. So I don't know. I mean, how do y'all feel about any of those guys stand out? Anybody you think may not make that cut?
Yeah, in preparation for, the show, of course, I was reading up on, articles that were written by it. And the article, I think it was on Falcons Wire, has Hall on the bubble that he has to show something. So, that was the first name you said, right?
Yeah.
What you think, John?
Trey Flowers is interesting.
Man, I want Mike Hughes back and D. Alford. I'd say that and of course Clark, but I say you got to bring back D and you got to bring back Mike Hughes. All those other people are going to have some problems. They're going to have some struggles.
Yeah, I think anybody that, I mean, granted, this is going to be a new system for everyone because we can't really, at least on defense, it's going to be, so they're going to have not a clean slate, but I mean, obviously the guys that are, like your AJ and, obviously you trade Okuda, you're planning on him being your, cornerback too. That's the reason you trade for him. That nickel spot, you're looking at Mike Hughes, you're looking at maybe Trey Flowers, you're looking at, like we said, I mean, I would think just because he's of the year he had here that D. Alford would be in the lead for that position.
D back, man.
Yeah, and I would think Clark Phillips is going to be just nipping at his heels, the entire season to get on the field. And like these other guys are going to have really, really good summers, I think, to break into those guys because, that's just a tough group to get into.
But I would say this: I'm just happy it's some competition in that cornerback room.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see the best of everybody. Right?
I love it.
Yeah, you're going to see the best out of everybody. No doubt about it. And then we look at the D line. Joe Gaziano, Italian Joe, we got from the Chargers.
Love Joe.
Eddie Goldman come back. And Eddie Goldman's an interesting one to me because, he hasn't played football in a long time.
Yeah.
So to me, he's not a lock. I mean, he was good when he was playing, but he's not a lock at all, especially with TQ there. Yeah. Coming back off of injury. Timmy Horn, man, I think he played well when he was in last year. He didn't have a ton of playing time, but when he did, he was getting after it. So like he's just like you said with the competition in the cornerback room, they're going to be competition in the damn D line room too. But anyway, TQ, Zach Harrison, I just said Timmy Horn, Albert Huggins, of course, Grady, Onyemata. So our givens are Onyemata, Grady, Zach Harrison, TQ. Those are our given guys. And after that, I forgot about also obviously Calais Campbell, also a given. So our guys on the bubble are going to be Carlos Davis. I can't even say in a Chukwu. That we also it was an undrafted free agent out of Rice. The dude's big. He's 6'4", 266. So he may have he's the type of size. It depends on obviously what he does, but he's that size that Nielsen likes. Zach Harrison's going to be on the team and know that. So to me, guys like Albert Huggins, Carlos Davis, those are going to be in the Chukwu. Those guys are going to have the fight uphill, I think, to make it there. Anybody different for you guys?
You bringing back Italian Joe?
I don't know, man.
I'm bringing back. Come on, Johnny Yates. Why not?
I mean, it's going to be tough. I mean, he's good size too, but he was kind of a rotational player for the Chargers. Yeah. He was nothing like not a huge piece, but he's still young. He's 26 years old. I mean, like he's not old or anything like that. But I mean, we'll see. It's gonna be interesting, man. I don't know. The interesting one.
Somebody's going to be on defense. I mean, some of those position rooms are crowd did. And I mean,
I love that, Lisa. I love it because it's been a long time. Because
Yeah.
the whole problem with the season that we just had was when somebody get hurt, it was a wrap.
yeah.
It was over for that position when somebody got hurt. So now, like, yeah. Ooh, he said he think they had out for that safety.
I can't see that.
I can't see that either. But yeah, I just want D on the team.
Yeah, I can see him playing nickel corner easy, but safety. I mean, you would think Richie Grant's
Clock
got
on
that.
his ass, man.
Got that locked up, and of course nobody's taking Bates out there, so I mean, like,
Yeah,
that's
no.
not going to happen. The interesting one on Keith Smith now,
Oh yeah.
they were signing Keith Smith at the fullback, but you know they're I think Clint, what's his name, Clint Radicovich or whatever, I can't remember his name. Anyway, he was hurt last year. Younger version of basically what Smith is, but Smith's also a real big piece on special teams. And he, you know, and that, of course, that's important to Marquise Williams, you know, special teams coach. So, I mean, he's definitely cheaper, but, you know, William Smith didn't sign it. He just signed a 1-year extension, I believe it was. So it's not like we're paying him a ton of money. So he probably
just 1 year contract for him?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there could, you know, he probably's got the upper hand. I don't see him having two fullbacks. I mean, if I mean, Clint would probably be the type of guy, you know, you see him on the practice squad. So if something did happen to Smith, he just pops right in, you know, it doesn't. So, but I think Smith probably got the upper hand on that one.
Yeah.
Offensive lineman, we pretty much know, man. We know Lindstrom's going to be in there. We know it's going to be McGarry at right tackle. We know Dahlman's going to be the center. We know Jake Matthews our left tackle. So really, it's that guard position, right? It's going to be. You know, Hennessy, you know, who's going to be in his his 4th year now? And Bergeron, you know, our rookie that we just drafted. So to me, Bergeron probably has the edge. Well, actually, no, I don't know. I think they probably want Bergeron to go win it.
Yeah.
Because that'll justify moving up to get him for sure. But Hennessy, you know, he's got to be looking at this as like, damn, if I can't beat out this rookie, I'm you know, my 4th year of my career, something's got to happen. So I don't know.
Who you want, John, personally?
I want Bergeron to win it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Way.
I mean, I want Bergeron to win that damn thing. You know, and then the backup players on you know, I think who just said that? Jamal said Jalen Mayfield.
Oh, hey, he put scissors. Thank you, Jamal.
Yeah, I mean,
like, why is he?
Why?
I mean, are y'all surprised? I mean, I guess they just wanted. I mean, it's more of an experiment at this point with Mayfield.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at
you got to be a mad scientist to experiment with it. I mean,
he's going to
be. He don't need to be nowhere near a football field, man. He need to be a bounce at a club.
Right. He's not going to be.
He looked shook, y'all. Like he was. I felt bad for the young man. Like. It was like he was almost like thinking on the bench, like, what have I done with my life? Like, why did I decide to play professional football?
Yeah, I mean,
but granted, he was thrown into, you know, they weren't expecting, you know, the injury, so he kind of was thrown out there. But poor guy. Woo.
Yeah, I mean, his best bet now, is to basically win that reserve role to back up McGarry, because I mean that's his natural position, tackle, right? I mean, like, and you know, if everybody gets hurt, you put him in a guard, but like literally everybody, like I'd almost grab anybody else, you know, because we've seen what that is at guard. It's not good. I mean, you know,
Lisa said that she feels sorry for you, and then John said like everybody would have to get her, so you can say, just quit, bro. Just stop, bro.
We don't have time for that. Just go ahead and cut it.
7 round.
Berto said Javon Gwynn said, could he push Doc? I think he could push him. I don't know. I think only thing they were worried about with him, and I could be wrong, was his arm length. Was not, you know, ideal for centers, because obviously you got to be able to get out there on the guard before they get on you. But I know they love his mobility. They love he can get out and run. He's as far as his athleticism, he's a great fit. I don't know if he can challenge Dahlman or not. But
don't tell me John ain't the GOAT when he know people arm length. You know, don't tell me John not the GOAT, because I'm like, what? John said the only thing that concerns me is his arm length. Jesus Christ, the GOAT.
That was pretty funny. But Glenn was on the bubble in a couple of articles that I read. Did you see that?
Yeah. Because I mean, 7th round pick. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. You got to. I mean, so that's, you know, but he's also a guy that could be that practice squad type of guy. You know, and get in the reps and get better. Just going back in the chat a little bit there.
Gary
just love the Roddy White pick. Yeah, AK-47, Jamal,
AK-47.
Terrence Mathis. How about
AK-47.
Mathis. Hey,
Oh,
hopefully.
that's a good one. That's a very good one.
That shook my heart, man. I remember that. I love him too. Not as much as Maddie. Hey, not as much as Mike, but man, I do love him. I love that he still loved this city of Atlanta and still does so much for the city. I saw that he's throwing the first pitch at safe at home game. I'm gonna tell y'all, no other Falcon has done more for the hood of Atlanta than Matt Ryan. That's not even a conversation. Do your research.
That's very true.
A real, yeah. It ain't a rapper. You talk Future, 2 Chainz? No. Do your research. Google that.
Yep. And then you look at the linebackers. Obviously, Troy's not going anywhere. McCall Walker's probably not going anywhere. And then you've got Dorian Etheridge and Nate Landman as your 2 inside linebackers as well. Both those guys have a good shot, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, our linebacking core is not exactly deep. That's that's the one section of our team that's the depth's not really there. So I think those guys have a chance. You know, of course, Caden Ellis is going to make the team outside, rushing. They brought in Tay Davis from Cleveland, who was really a special teams guy. So I think he's going to have to really show out. Mike Jones Jr. from LSU, they drafted, or he might have been a rookie. Actually, they didn't draft him. I'm sorry. He was a rookie free agent signing. And I asked our boy Chris, who's an LSU guy, of course, about Mike Jones Jr. If y'all haven't heard, he said he is athletic as hell, but doesn't know gap A from gap C. So,
Mike Jones.
Yeah. So maybe that won't be a fit, but who knows? But anyway, let's see. Then we have Laquel London, which honestly I'd never heard.
I didn't even know we had 2 Londons on the team. Did you know that?
Nope, didn't know.
Yeah, I was like, we got 2 Londons on the team.
Yeah, he's 25 years old. He's 6'5", 280 from Western.
Gotta love that.
So yeah, he's got some size on him. And Andre Smith, a smaller guy from North Carolina, 6 foot. He's 26 years old. He's got 5 years in the league. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I think that's beyond the guys we know that's starting. I think it's just a toss-up. I mean, whoever goes out there and outperforms, we don't know enough about any of those guys, to be honest. I mean, and from at least their past.
Well, I told you guys, I'm going to go to the first preseason game in Miami versus the Dolphins. So I'll be taking notes of, who they got in and, to see who gets the reps, in real time. So, they'll give us some hints.
Report back, Lisa. You have to inform all of Falcon Nation because we can't go. So
I got you.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean,
go to the beach too, Lisa. Have fun. Shit.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely happening.
Turn up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the more I look at it, the rest of the list, I think that Mayfield's making this team too, because we got Ethan Greenridge, who came over, I think, from the Saints. Might have been. He's a tackle, a swing tackle as well. He's gonna have a tough road to make this team, I think. Which nobody's gonna really shed any tears on that one. Chris Hinton as well. I forgot about Chris Hinton, offensive lineman. So I mean, not Chris Hinton, but Kyle Hinton. I'm sorry, Kyle Hinton.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, damn, I don't know, man. He could have a problem. Justin Schaefer's still there from the draft pick from Georgia.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. He's got a long
Schaefer was on my list on the bubble.
Oh yeah.
And then Tyler Vrabel might be it for him. Coach Vrabel's son. I don't think he'll make that final cut, but we'll see. Barry Wesley, no idea. And you look at of course, the outside linebackers. Windsor Carter's going nowhere. Bud Dupree, Arnold Ebiketie, D'Angelo Malone. We all know those guys are making it. Okundeji, this might be it.
He gotta show something.
Yeah. Yep. He
gotta show something.
Yeah, he can stop the run, but he didn't even do it that well last year or a year before. Like, it was hard for him to get on the field. So it's going to be tough. And that's the thing. Like with him, like he's that size that Nielsen likes too, but he's going to have to show it. I mean, he's going to have to definitely show it. Our kicker and punters, we know that is Bradley Pinion and Koo's not going anywhere, obviously. Our QB room, Desmond and Taylor, right? Logan Woodside's going to be.
Yeah, Woodside. Yeah. Woodside.
Yeah, you're going to be your scout team guy. A running back room, we know Tyler, we know Bijan, we know CP. Caleb Huntley, obviously, which is an alien coming back off of that Achilles this quickly. But he could be, again, maybe you put him on the practice squad, let him kind of, I think, or even, I don't know, man, like it worries me, a guy coming off Achilles that quickly, because as explosive as that guy is, man, like that seems like that could go again. Yeah, that's his whole game. So, and then Carlos Washington Jr., who we've had on the roster for a bit, Southeastern Louisiana. I don't, again, it kind of depends on injuries. We hope that's the thing with camp. You just hope that nobody's hurt by some non-contact injury, that goes down. We just hope that doesn't happen, and then things don't get messed up. Safety, Jesse Bates, Richie Grant, pencil him in. Jalen Hawkins is going to be fighting DeMarco Helms. I think Helms probably makes this team just based on special teams alone. And the fact, like I said, I'm a little bit biased because of Alabama, but I did see what he did at Alabama for his time there. So, we'll see. Is that Biscuit, man?
Yeah, man. Biscuit said Jalen Hawkins is going to make the team, Biscuit. He going to make it. He going to make it, bro. Just calm down. All right.
And then I saw it in the chat. Where'd it go?
Oh yeah. Now you got to answer that one, Lisa.
I already told you I was surprised he was on the trip to Germany, so that's my answer. What are we doing with Felipe Franks on our roster?
We got so many tight ends. All right, so Kyle Pitts and John O. Smith, they're locks, right? They're not going in. Parker Hesse was so big in our run game last year, and they love Parker Hesse. So I can't really see Parker Hesse not making it either. So that leaves Fitzpatrick, who didn't really get to play last year, Tucker Fisk, and Felipe Franks.
Franks is on my list.
I don't, and I guess there's a scenario that he makes a team like that he has some serious dirt on Arthur or somebody, but I honestly don't know how he makes it otherwise because he didn't even get in the game other than special teams, and you don't need a fourth quarterback, you don't need that, so
and now you have that emergency QB rule, so
exactly.
I feel, when he played, I wasn't impressed with a couple of plays that we saw from Frank. Were you last season?
No.
Yeah, so I don't understand the point of him having a roster spot.
And when he gets in the preseason games to play quarterback, and all he wants to do is run over people, which is great. But then he fumbles the ball half the time, so it's I don't.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, exactly. And then finally, man, the wide receiver room again, the locks that we already know.
Darby
Matt Collins,
Darby the hype man, but sir, I need you to be catching balls.
Yeah, he's got to be on the bubble because you got, London obviously, Matt Collins, Daryl Hodge, who I thought played well in his little spurts last year.
Crowded room, crowded.
Brought in Scotty Miller to be that take the top off guy. You brought in Penny Hart. You got Keon Harris, Slade Bolden. You brought in as well. Chris Blair, JJ, our Seager Whiteside. Josh Ali. There's a lot of people. The only upside he has is he's been in the system a long time. He's been there longer than anybody, like some of these new guys. So he understands it. It's just a matter of him actually performing. Love the dude, love the character, but man, it's going to be tough to really.
Is there a benefit for keeping Josh Ali? Because I looked up his stats and it was zeros.
He had to just show out, man. He's had 1 year of experience. He's 24. He's 6 foot, 193.
You larger than John.
It really is. He only had 1 year, didn't do anything. It's just
I felt bad. Because and the reason I even knew who he was at some Falcons event, and I just didn't recognize him. So I looked him up and I looked up his stats, and it was literally all zeros.
Kerry said, with all the competition we have and all the free agents we signed in an awesome draft class, I completely forgot about Mayfield in recent times. Jamal, man, you just make me mad. Jamal said, in all seriousness, Mayfield was a rookie and hurt last year, but there's no room on this line for him. No,
Mayfield.
Good one. May not feel. Hey, I love these. Hey, you keep these coming. I love
That's good. Good stuff.
Man.
JJ said, that's what I said, JJ. It's not even an experiment, bro. You don't belong in the NFL. I wasn't saying AK-47 on the bubble. I was saying he for sure stands.
Oh, okay.
Big time.
No, I already knew what you were saying, but
AK was close to getting some. Yeah, he was close last year. So
Jamal said, I think we have an eye on the linebacker. Oh yeah, for sure. Otherwise, why not re-sign Evans? Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, I still think the whole Evans thing. I don't know if it's, like I said, we don't know if it's money related or not, but I just think the way this defense is, the way this team is kind of set up is they really want guys who can do everything.
Yeah.
Or like or at least do, you don't have to be great in coverage, but you have to be decent at coverage.
Yeah.
That's not Evan's game, at all.
But he's a great tackler, man.
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. You want that thumping middle linebacker, then that's him,
Just like that man we let go to Jacksonville. Don't y'all ever forget how good he was.
Mm-hmm.
Curry, Lisa, I'm gonna try to make it a
Oh, cool.
Hey, I was just about to
know.
say you have to hang out with Curry and turn up with Curry when you get down there.
Yeah, let me know if you make it.
Yeah.
Helms, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jamal said Felipe and Darby getting cut. And Jamal said, he said might be on special teams.
Okay.
He might be on special teams.
Uncle Steve, what up, buddy?
Uncle Steve, there you go. What's up, guys? Super late, but happy to come support my girl Lisa.
Hey.
Lisa, Uncle Steve.
That's my homeboy.
But you really understand the system. I don't even know who you're talking about.
Probably Darby.
Yeah.
I'd tend to agree with that one there. All right, guys, we are 142. We need to get to underrated, overrated. What we need to do. Any other thoughts on the roster? Because it's, like we said, just to sum it up with a nice bow on it, we know what the position battles are. We've talked about it. It's going to be that nickel corner. It's going to be the left guard position. I don't care who's running back 1 and 2. It doesn't matter to me at all.
Nope.
I don't care who wide receiver 2. I assume Matt Collins. Great. I don't care. Go score points.
Yeah.
Felipe, if you're on the team, hey, man, you just keep doing your thing, man. You've figured out the key to something. And, I don't know what else to say.
Man, he got pictures of somebody.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
He got pictures of somebody.
Something. I don't know. But, kind of is, like I said, barring injury or barring just a standout performance by some guy out of nowhere that we don't see coming, we kind of know who's going to be there. There's not a whole lot of mystery to it. So, we'll see. But, all right, so if y'all don't have anything else, let's get to Underrated Overrated. Brought to you by Old Humble Distilling Company. You get free shipping if you buy 2 bottles of bourbon. So go buy 2 bottles of bourbon with the code VarietySports. I nailed it.
Get drunk, but don't drive.
Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. So, Mike, you want to start off, buddy?
I'll start it off. Underrated is I just learned this because I'm old as dirt. But y'all gotta get the app for stuff. When stuff say get the app, like you actually get shit if you get the app. Like it's beneficial for you to get the app. I know you don't want to put all that stuff on your phone, but Starbucks app. If you go to Starbucks every day, I did it for years, and I'm not want the app. They used to tell me, well, man, why don't you get the app? You get all right, man. Just swipe my card, and I mean that for everywhere. For almost anything, it's more beneficial for you to get the app. You will get free stuff. It's not a scam. You do get more with the actual app. I did it for years. I just don't get the app. I don't want it on my phone. I don't want for you to have my phone number and my email address. Just swipe the card. And you realize when you get the app, how much you was missing, you would have wished you would have got the app. So just trust me on this one. Get the app. It's just underrated.
I got the Starbucks app when they partnered with Delta, so now you can get Sky Miles.
That's
so
right.
that was when I'll go to Starbucks every blue moon. I'm not, big on it, but but I do like get Sky Miles, so that's why I did it.
I will not say how many Sky Miles I have now because it's a little bit embarrassing. Back to you, Mike.
So somebody who else got an underrated? John, you got an underrated?
Oh yeah, I got one. Underrated, man. And I just found this out. Stretching, man. Stretching. As you get older, man, you got to stretch, dude. Because working out now, like if I don't take care of my body beforehand, like I start feeling things and pulling things that I didn't plan on doing. And so I found this little 10-minute like hip mobility and like hamstring stretching thing. I do it every day. Dude, I've been it for straight now for 4 weeks, and it's changed my life.
Nice.
Telling you, man. Yeah. Got to do it.
Johnny Yates, Circus Olay, Johnny Yates.
Not even close, buddy. Not even close. I just got to get just warm enough so I can work out and not hurt myself, buddy. That's all I got to do. Just enough to move around, man.
I love it. Come on, Lisa.
Okay, so I'm gonna make mine football related. Over or underrated the Falcons Aints rivalry.
Oh,
love it.
Okay.
And I'll say why I think it's underrated. I think it was either 2018 or 2019. Chad Ochocinco went to the Falcons training camp. And of course, he's very active on Twitter. So he posted at training camp, checking out the Falcons. Mm-hmm. For whatever reason, the Aints got mad, that he went to Atlanta and not New Orleans. And so they hop on his Twitter, blow it up. And then, of course, Falcons fans, respond, so it was this whole thing. Mm-hmm. A week later, Falcons fans and Aints were still blowing up Ocho Cinco's Twitter. So Ocho Cinco tweeted, hey, I didn't know the Falcons and the Saints hated each other that much. It's been a week and they still blowing up my Twitter. I think more national attention needs to be brought to this rivalry. So I'm going underrated for sure.
I love that. Man, I got another one. How about underrated? I got one is the impact that dads have on the team the kids pick. Cause reminded me of that.
I told you my story, so yeah.
I love it because I just think that's important, man. I just think that's the cool. I've said that 10 times on this show, but I really just think that is the cool. I know it's expensive to be at the games and all that, but if you can take your kid out to it could be like a place that got all the screens. The experience of them being around that where everybody's screaming, just being in a jersey, being in a hat or whatever, your kid will never forget it.
Right.
Your kid will never forget. You will be long gone and your kid will never forget those moments. And even like John, he get to play Madden with his kid. I just think that is the coolest shit ever. You get to talk shit to your kid and beat them or they beat you, and you get to teach them about the game so they understand it and they know the coverages. But you also have these little things where you get to bond with. Just ask him how was school. Yeah, why you kicking his ass? So I just really those moments that your dad has an impact on you liking the sport of football and the team you pick and the way you understand it. I just thought that's super cool. So that's underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big time, man. Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, like the ones that Liam's went to, he still remembers his first Braves game. Mm-hmm. He remembers like I
never
said,
forget it.
Yeah. No, that's huge, man. Mm-hmm. Even the smaller ones, like when we go to we went to a Rome Braves game a few years ago to see Dallas Keuchel when he's coming back from his injury. I mean, just random stuff like that, man. Yeah, it's crazy. And that the AAA games the single A team, it's like $10 to get into a game, so it was nothing. All right. So overrated, man. Scuba diving, man. We're not meant to be in the water, man. I don't think so. Like, I'm sure it's cool down there and all, but man, I've seen some videos recently, and I've got some friends, and they've had some near misses with some sharks and whatnot, and I'm like, no, man, I'll go out as far as I can see, and then I'm coming right back. I'm not. And if I can't see it, then I'm not. Like we were in the ocean, and I think it was Hilton Head, and Amanda, my wife, she got stung by a jellyfish. And never saw it because the water's dirt ass brown. Yeah. So it's like she just felt something like around her leg, all of a sudden, boom, and but my brother's huge. Like my brother's scuba diving, he's skydived the whole life. He got certified like night diver, cave diving, and like the stuff you have to go through, dude. Like I get claustrophobic just even thinking about it. Like it's amazing. But I'll watch it on TV and see. Yeah. I can't bring myself to do that. So
I love
2 non-football related ones. They just happened to come up this week. But
I love it. Do you have one more, Lisa?
Yeah, I got one more. Going to Falcons road games, underrated. I can't really explain. Well, let me first say, if you enjoy traveling, then it's a plus. And obviously, if you love the Falcons, that's a plus. So if you travel to see the Falcons, that's a win-win. You're going to enjoy yourself. Mm-hmm. But repping, your team in someone else's city and in an opposing state, it's just a different feeling. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people are like, why spend the extra, money and time to go to another city to rep your team and watch a game? But, like anything else, if you can, and if you like to travel, and if you haven't done it, I'm telling you, it's a good time. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. I mean, Carolina is just straight, you go straight 3 hours, you're there. Mm-hmm. Of course, if you're going to Tampa or New Orleans, it's a little bit of a longer drive if you're driving, but if you're taking a plane, short flights. So, and you just feel different and don't dare win. Like, you talking ish and other people, man, this is a great feeling to, get a road win and you there and, to represent. So I really enjoy it. I always try to, get in, 1 or 2 road games a season. So yeah, I highly recommend it for those who can and want to do it.
And shout out to One Time for the Fan, because they do that like nobody else.
They do.
Like no one else does it. I got one last one. What is underrated? The power of intentionally controlling your mind. I'll tell you this. I could have lost my shit over this past week about 12 times, man. I could have lost it. And I mean, I had some situations that about 12 of them back to back to back, that it was like I could have punched the wall. I could have jumped off the balcony. And I would go for a walk and just talk aloud. I would say positive things to myself to calm myself down. I had the help of some other things, if you know what I mean, but I calmed myself down. And I'm saying, I want to say this. If you can't control your thoughts, you're going to get in trouble and you're going to have a depressing life, because the autopilot is always negative. It's going to be stressful. So you got to intentionally be like, I can handle this. It'll be all right. Everything is all right. I'm calm. I'm strong enough to do this. I'm going to stay patient. It'll work itself out. I don't got to stress over this. I got a good life. And just count your blessings. Here's everything that went right today. This is everything that I'm grateful for today, because it will go to negative. And I was so proud of myself, man. I didn't lose my shit. And I mean, I went through the ringer this week. But I'm proud to say I came out on the other side to join out of your Falcon mind with minutes to spare. But I love it.
Y'all have no idea, man.
Be positive.
Mike was like a step away from having to show his birth certificate to get a damn phone. It was bad.
Oh wow!
Just to get a phone, and I mean, just the fact that I had to move everything I already have gone through this year, and then moving, and then to get a cell phone, they put me through like I was trying to buy like a brick of cocaine or both. And it was the weirdest shit ever. And it was so stressful, but I handled it. And I learned something about myself, man. Like you can control yourself. You can control yourself no matter what's going on. So you don't have an excuse to be an asshole or to be negative. You can always be happy, or just turn on a comedy, or just, talk to Johnny Yates, or just do anything you want to do, but you can control your mind. If you can control it and intentionally think thoughts that calm you down, you will have a much greater experience.
That's great.
So yeah, you're underrated. The power of intentional positive thought. I love it. Yeah. Mike said, Curry, I'm sorry for calling you Mike. Okay, but we one in the same, so I can do that. So Mike Curry, Mike, get the app. I got apps for all the places. I got all the freebies. Shoot, we are balling on the butt. It really will help you out. It really will. Man, on my birthday, Starbucks gave me a free coffee. I almost shed a single tear. It almost brought a tear to my eye. I was like, I got a free nitro cold brew.
Damn right. I got the Dunkin' app too, man. And this month at Dunkin', it's double the points on cold brews. And so I have cold brews pretty much all the time.
And John got 3,000 points if that's the case. I'm telling you.
We were on a Zoom earlier, and I had I had a cold brew. Yeah. Carrie's underrated for sure, Lisa. I think it's one of the biggest rivalries in the NFL. Ocho's my guy. Love how he interacts with all the fans on Twitter, meets up with them for picks too. Yeah, absolutely. Le PR said parachuting. Hell no to that too.
No.
Wow.
I will parasail, but I'm not parachuting.
Y'all did the parachute ride at Six Flags before?
Oh no.
Oh, back in the day, yeah. I mean,
but how? Like I did it too, but like that
wasn't scary.
That seat does not feel safe though. Like that bar that comes down, like it does not.
It don't snap. Yeah.
It don't do a whole lot.
Right, that's true. And it has a little give. Like you can, I remember.
As soon as it drops you, like you move a little bit. Like I was like, that's probably one and done for me. Jamal said that stuff's not for me. Yeah, brother, that's not happening.
I love to travel, and I love the Falcons too. That reminds me, I forgot to buy my tickets for that $1 billion Powerball, so I can travel to see my Falcons away games. Curry, we would love to have you. One time for the fan is live right now too. I need y'all to coordinate better because I'm a loyal supporter of both shows, so I got 2 screens up. Shout out to them. I love it.
It's all good. We're almost done. And I knew they were doing a pop-up show. And hey, look, we're gonna be collaborating very soon. So we'll be with those guys and girls very soon. Yeah. Yes, Carrie said it feels so good. The Falcons are going to win in somebody else's city. Absolutely.
It is.
Yeah, for sure. And on the episode, lots of traveling.
Traveling.
And Cherry said, I get a free Chick-fil-A sandwich today with my points. So there you go.
See, shout out to you, Kerry, for your chicken sandwich. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, I'll end it with this, man. Underrated, man. You guys, the Falcons fans, have been watching us through this entire summer with absolutely nothing going on except for hearsay and shitty articles people are writing. Not you, Lisa, because your articles are amazing. Just the people that write articles that don't know what the hell they're talking about our squad. And, it's there's been really no reason. So y'all are like the diehards, man, that's been watching and keeping with us all year long. We made it through the tough time of the summer. Now it's ready, man. It's ready.
Now it's time to go.
We're ready to rock, man.
Rise up.
We're going to be there on Thursday. So anybody that's there Thursday, man, make sure y'all find us. I'll be wearing not this fucking hoodie because it's going to be so damn hot.
Yeah, it's going to be hot.
I'm going to be wearing a t-shirt. But I'll have my I Love Your Falcon Mind t-shirt on. Michael will have his.
Yep.
We'll be there. Hopefully, like I said, if you guys are there, man, come and say hey to us. With my wife and my son will be there too. He's going to be the secret weapon to go get the autographs. So,
yes.
He'll pop up there and
players love the kids.
Oh yeah, so he'll probably wear a CP jersey and have his hat.
And I'm gonna be in like a wheelchair with like withered legs. So they're gonna push me to the front of the line every single time.
I'm pretty sure that Liam might be as tall as you, buddy, right now.
Yeah, see, right? Yeah,
pretty sure.
Same size. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So here's how I want to end it. Shout out to Kerry. I love you. Amazing.
Thank you, Kerry.
You guys are awesome. I love the positive vibes of all three. So I want to end it like this. Shout out to you, Lisa, because it's a lot of writers, but they I don't be always believing that they really as the fan that they say they are. I think that they just wanted to write, and they could be a good writer, but they may not be a true blue Falcon fan. It take a lot to be a true blue Falcon.
Right, of course.
Because you could have traded like 3,000 times in your life, and you stuck with them. So shout out to you for number one being a great writer, two being a positive writer, three being a real genuine fan, four coming on the show, and five for just being a dope human being. Thank you.
Oh, I appreciate that. It was great being on. I appreciate the invite. And again, I love meeting, other content creators and just other Falcons fans, period. I mean, yeah, I could talk forever. Like, when me and John were getting ready for the show, I'm sure he didn't expect for me to just be tweet or, DM. It's like a long list of just Falcons sending him pictures, like, of players I've met over time. And I know he's just like, I'm sure I have work to do, but I just kept, it's just, I love it. I love talking about the Falcons. I think when you love it and it's genuine, that authenticity just comes out. So, and I, like I said, I started following you guys. I love the content you create because the 10 stages of being a Falcons fan. Yeah. He's like, oh, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. And it's just like, oh, not only have I checked it out, I sent it to my group chat. I have a group chat for the Falcons fan, but I did this in February. I had already, sent it out to my people. So yeah.
Thank you.
Love it. Love
you
it.
got it.
Man.
And I'll add too, at least the out of the box writing too, because I love the fact that you don't just like stats and like straight to the point. Like, it's all different stuff. Like I love that.
Yeah, and I feel like there's enough of people that are kind of doing the stats thing, and you guys are going to get that content. So I decided I really want to focus on the fan side of being a Falcons fan, what that looks like. And again, when I come up with an idea, there's always, a Falcons fan or a group of Falcons fans that I can meet and reach out to and, get their side of things and share their stories of how they became a Falcons fan. I love those type of things. So that's the kind of content that I'm creating. And, when I do go on the road, I'll be featuring, because I forgot, I went to, for the first time, I went to Kansas City for the NFL draft this year, talked to Falcons fans that also made the trip. Some were repeat draft attendees. A couple of us were, first timers, but it's just, why'd you want to come? Anything NFL, I want to go to, you know what I'm saying? And I just like, let me just check this box. Let me just go. Never been to Kansas City. Again, I love to travel. I had a great time. We got to meet Roger Goodell, players everywhere, draft picks. It was great. We had a great time in Kansas City.
I love it.
That's awesome. Well, you got to come back. You know that, right? Like during the
Have
season,
to.
you got to come back because
Well, definitely. We'll definitely connect. Like I said, I'll be, going to, all the preseason games and then, on the road. But yeah, whenever you guys want me, just let me know. We can see how our team is doing, see if our predictions about things, come to pass. So there's always things to talk about when it comes to our team.
Oh, of course, and we'll probably see you at training camp too. Because I know that one day we're going to try to make it for Saturday too.
Okay, so, and I actually was going to see if I can make it for Thursday because that is the opening day for camp.
Yeah, definitely.
So if I can swing that, I will definitely look for you guys.
Definitely. And before we go, tell everybody where they can follow you, find your work, all that good stuff too.
Okay, well, the articles that I write are on bloggingdirty.com. I typically do 1 to 2 articles a month. But if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at ATLISA 30331. So again, pretty much just Falcons content. That's pretty much all I talk about. And I trash talk those ain'ts. That's what I do on Twitter.
We love that.
You got to do that.
Absolutely.
That's a part of the life. It can come with it.
Yes, definitely. And Jordan said, great show tonight. You guys never miss.
Thank you, Jordan.
Great hearing from Lisa as well. Have a great week, everyone. You too, buddy. So y'all can look, as always, man, hit that subscribe button for us, hit the like button, share us, whatever you can do to get us out to more Falcons fans. We greatly appreciate it because it just helps us keep growing our podcast, our show, whether it's on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you take us. Hey, wherever you listen to us is great. And we will, just so y'all know, that create a content creator meetup, which Lisa, you should try to make it, man. If you're around, it's going to be August, I believe, 19th.
Okay.
It's going to be at the Taco Mac in West Cobb off of Dallas Highway. So I'll send you all the details.
Okay, cool.
But it's like pound for pound, big, low.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Like I think. I don't know if Chase is going to be there or not, but
I would love to meet you guys.
So we'll all be there. Just in if like any fans that want to come out, we'll just be hanging out, having beer, watching whatever's on TV at the time. It's probably a preseason game at that time. So just having fun. I got to find. JR did a whole flyer for us. Got to find the flyer.
Okay.
But so we'll be putting that on social media pretty soon. But again, I think it's August 19th. It's a Saturday. Is that a Saturday? Am I just? Let me look at the calendar real quick. It's a Saturday. So that's right, August 19th. Yep. So
what time is it?
I think it's 7. I want to say. I don't quote me on that.
Okay.
So I'm trying to find I've got so many messages in here. I've got to find it. But yeah, so we're going to start plugging it more as we get closer to it. But you guys can just plan on that. But yeah, anyway, you guys can follow us on Twitter, Out of Your Effing Mind, on Instagram, TikTok. Now that Mike has a phone, he's gonna start doing.
I got my phone back. Hey, I'll be TikToking this week, Instagram, and all that stuff.
It's just Out of Your Falcon Mind, right? On those two. We will next week's show is going to be Tuesday. We're going to have Scott Kennedy on from All Falcons. If y'all seen him, he has a great show on YouTube. Been doing this for a lot longer than we have. So great content creator. It's going to be Tuesday, either 7:30 or 8. Got to get with him. I know Pound for Pound's on at 7 on Tuesdays. I hate to overlap with those guys. They have such a good show. So we're going to try maybe shoot for 8 o'clock on Tuesday because that's when we can get Scott on. And then Mike and I will be at training camp on Thursday, and we will likely do a show Thursday night just to talk about camp and what we saw and just shoot the shit with whoever wants to come by and get in the chat with us. So it's about to be that time, y'all. We're going to be putting out a lot more content than what we've been doing. The once a week's not going to cut it anymore as training camp starts. So y'all be ready, man. It's going to be fun.
Man, I love y'all. And again, like John said, I just want to reiterate, thank you for joining us when there was nothing going on. We had a blast. Now with something going on, it's time to turn up.
Let's go.
Time to turn up. It's your time.
Lisa, thank you again. It's been awesome. Thanks for hanging 2 hours. You're hanging out with us for 2 hours.
I love it.
You, Lisa.
And it went so quickly.
We could go another 2 hours if we really wanted to. We had to, but yeah. So I'm getting hungry. I got to eat. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah, right. So Lisa, thanks again. Mike,
you got it.
Brother. Take us out, brother.
Out of your Falcon mind. Peace.